When you're asked to substitute numbers into letters during algebra problems, what that's actually meaning is it's meaning place where you see an A in this example, you would place the number 5. Where you see a B in this example, in the red, you would place a number -4. And when you see a C, you place a 3. So it's just like in any sort of sports fixture, if something's been substituted, something has been replaced with someone else. A football player might go off and be replaced with another football player, just like the letter is going off and being replaced by a number in this situation. So the most important thing to remember here are our rules when it comes to negative numbers. So I'm going to write in the top hand corner some of the rules. If you have a positive number times by a positive number, your answer is always positive. If you have a positive number times by a negative number, your answer is always negative. And if you have a negative number times by a negative number, your answer is always positive. So the main thing to remember there is if the signs are the same, your answer becomes positive. If they're different, your answer becomes negative. Now that's going to be quite useful when it comes to, particularly when we substitute this b is -4 into some of these equations here. So let's start with number 1. So 3a plus 2c, what that's actually saying is 3 times by a plus 2 times by c. Don't forget there's that mini multiplication sign in between the 3 and the a and the 2 and the c. So let's substitute 5 where we see the a, so it becomes 3 times by 5 plus 2 times by c, and c over here is 3. So now let's use our bib mass. We've got our multiplication comes first, so we've got 3 times by 5 is 15 plus 2 times by 3, which is 6. So our answer is 21. Now let's look at number 2 at the bottom there. So this one becomes slightly trickier because we've got a minus sign, and b is also a negative number. So we need to refer back to our sums at in the yellow box at the top right hand corner when we're thinking about our negative numbers. So when you see the a, we're substituting in 5. So again, there's a little mini multiplication sign in there. So it's 4 times by 5 is the 4a. And then we're taking away or subtracting b. Now in this case, b is -4. So we're subtracting -4. Now, let's move on to the next line here. So let's just get the easy bit out of the way, which is the 4 times by 5, which is 20. Now we have the -4. So it's just like in the yellow box when you're multiplying negative numbers. If there's two minuses together like this, it actually turns into a plus. So what we're saying here is 20 plus 4, which leaves us with 24. Now let's move on to the top. Now let's move on to the top right hand corner here for number 3. We've got b squared. So b is -4, and we're doing -4 times -4 because we're squaring it. So -4 squared, and then we're subtracting a, which is 5. So again, referring back to our yellow box in the top right hand corner, we've got a minus number times by a minus number, which makes a plus or a positive. So it's just the same as saying what's 4 squared. So in this case, it's 16, take away 5, which leaves us with 11. Now 4 looks a lot more complicated, mainly because there's lots of squares, there's brackets, there's all sorts going on here. So let's break it down into simple steps. So again, with bid mass, remember, bid mass starts with brackets. So we do the bracket first here. So we've got 2 times by a. So that's 2 times by 5. Then we put our brackets and we're squaring our answer. Then we're subtracting 2 times by c, which is 3. So, but in this case, the squared, because there are no brackets involved, just links to the c. So it's -2 times by c squared. Now c is 3, so that's 3 squared. And I'm going to put brackets around those as well. So now let's break that down into the next line. It's really important to show step by step, really clear workings each time, because it's quite easy to make little errors along the way. And if you're showing each step of working, then you're guaranteed to get yourself at least some marks when it comes to an exam, even if we make mistakes. So 2 times by 5 is 10. So we're left with 10 squared. And then we're subtracting the 2 times by, in this case, 3 squared, which makes 9. So again, I'm going to do really simple steps here. So 10 squared becomes 100. Take away 2 times by 9, which is 18. So now we've got 100, take away 18, which leaves us with 82. So here, top tips are, always remember the signs when it comes to negative numbers times by negative numbers, positive times by negative numbers. And also, just like with all of the algebra that we've been doing, you've got to be really careful to make sure that you're doing real simple step-by-step clear workings.